Having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula Bore Formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
Are we ready to do this, baby? Are we ready to talk about these awesome people that are here today?
Oh my goodness, I am so ready. We have in from New York City, Ross Cortez in the house. Wow. Ross Cortez is not just a commercial litigation lawyer at Rusk in Moscow, Faltishek. I don't know if that's the way it's pronounced, but you'll correct me. He is Long Island's Business News 40 under 40 and a lawyer of Long Island. So welcome, Ross. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Ross, that is incredible. Thank you for being here today. And how did you end up on the Real Raw today?
I don't know. I think it was maybe by mistake. I don't know.
Nothing happens by mistake, my friend.
I got a message from Sean and I was intrigued and so if you have an interest, why not follow through in it? So here I am.
That is amazing. So Ross, tell us a fun fact, not a fun fact that maybe everybody knows, but the most funnest fun fact that you can think about that maybe you haven't told in a while.
I haven't spoken about, I used to do strongman competitions. I used to train and flip tires and pull trucks and pick up boulders. And I used to compete, amateur competitions. And at one point I actually made nationals and I never went, but it was fun. It was fun to train in that way. I don't have the time anymore to spend that amount of my time in the gym to get to that level, nor do I think my body could take what it used to be able to take in forms of eating and that type of training. So I look back, that was a really fun and interesting time, and I used to love showing people the pictures and stuff like that. But so that's my fun fact.
So what do you flip now? What do you flip now?
I was gonna say,
what do I lift now? It's embarrassing. I sent somebody a text message in my pandemic life. It's I have a power tower with a pull-up bar and something to do dips, and I'm using those elastic cables to do bicep curls and stuff.
That's awesome. That's great.
Ross, maybe now you're a litigation gladiator. How's that sound?
Oh, look at that, a takeaway already.
Listen,
was CrossFit before CrossFit was something that we did day in and day out. That's what you did. You led the way. You were a pioneer of CrossFit, baby.
It was definitely a little bit different than CrossFit, but Michael, it's the competitive nature. I think I like to compete. I like to do something outside the box.
Right.
Yep. He likes to compete. He's a contestant today. So judges, what I'm hearing is like, if you don't like judge him fairly, he might come over and like flip you over or something. That's what I'm hearing.
You're gonna be his tire.
Yeah.
We got Michael.
Who else we got?
We got
I
Michael
probably hurt
Lee.
myself.
Michael. He's in from Chicago. Michael is partner at Fran Law, Leeson Lamar. He's a franchise, mergers and acquisitions, and real estate attorney who has represented thousands in their franchise, real estate, and business deals. So welcome, Michael.
Thank you.
Welcome, Michael.
Thank you.
So super excited to have you. And so what's a fun fact?
A fun fact. Well, I have been a scoutmaster of a Boy Scout troop. And we spent a week, this is the cool piece of it, we spent a week doing wilderness canoeing and camping. I mean, cut off from everything. We were in the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness. That's at the very northern tip of Minnesota, and it actually extends into Canada.
Wow.
And basically, you get dropped off. You're given a canoe. You got a couple of people, and there's some bags of like uncooked, the ingredients to make food, like flour and seasonings and stuff like that. And then maybe in a week we'll see you again.
What? This is like Survivor?
This is wilderness. I mean, it's just trees and lakes for miles.
Viv, does that sound like the wilderness that Sean and the Unblinded team are coming back from?
I don't think so. I was about to say, I don't think
All
you and I will be signing up for this wilderness trip.
I don't think we're signing up for this.
I was the scoutmaster on this trip. There were maybe a dozen, what's the high testosterone 16-year-old boys that, were probably future Rosses here to be gladiators. They had every muscle in the world. They had every belief they're going to conquer the world too. But we had a great time for the week. We cooked our food. We caught some food. We just camped and paddled.
What did you make with the flour?
What's that?
What did you make with the flour?
Oh, well, when you're going to make a fish, you're going to cook a fish. You might want to put some breading on the fish, right? Like you would in a restaurant. You might want to have some biscuits. You might want to have some pancakes.
I'm taking you with me when I'm going anywhere next time.
Right? Well, and this sounds like, this sounds like if Sean were to describe like his Survivor being like coming back, because they've just spent a couple of days on a private island with like private chefs and like all of the things, like, I think he would consider that like actually like a game of the Survivor, because you know what they don't get on the island? Pizza.
Oh.
They don't get pizza on the island. So for him, it's like pretty much a game of Survivor, because who knows what happens. But Vivian, who else do we got next?
We got Mark Stone. Mark went from sales tax auditor from the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance to CPA and founder and managing partner at Sales Tax Defense. If you got yourself in a pickle with your sales use and transaction taxes, Mark is your expert witness. He's even helped in criminal investigations. Plus, he's a speaker and a writer for Long Island Business News, The Pulse, and The Daily News. So welcome, Mark.
Hello, how are you?
Mark, welcome. That's a lot of writing that you do.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me here. So, yes, I also even spent some time as a adjunct graduate school professor over at CW Post College here on Long Island. So, but now my practice is really focused upon helping businesses when they have a sales tax problem. So that's a big part of my life now.
That is extraordinary. And why did you choose that particular field?
Fell into it out of school. I got a job with the tax department. And then once I worked for the tax department, every accounting firm that I worked at said, well, sales tax, so go do sales tax. And then about 15 years ago, I started my own practice and have been and now I have a firm with 7 people that started from scratch 15 years ago.
That is, congratulations on all of your successes. That is absolutely extraordinary. And so thank you for being here. And what's a fun fact?
So it's funny that Michael was talking about scouting, because my story is also a scouting story, but a little bit different. I have two daughters. My older daughter, who's now 12, wanted to be a Girl Scout when she was in kindergarten, but there was no Girl Scout troop in the school that we were at. So I called up Girl Scouts, and ultimately they said to me, well, if you'd like to start a troop, then your daughter can be in a Girl Scout troop.
So you were a Girl Scout leader?
So I was a Girl Scout leader for 5 or 6 years, from 1st grade through 5th grade. So I hold my distinction. I always say that I am the ugliest Girl Scout in Suffolk County.
So what survival skills did you teach your girls?
How to go to Michael's and go shopping for craft supplies, and how to make cookies, and how to sell cookies. That's a very big, serious thing. Selling cookies is a big deal when it comes to Girl Scouts.
And since you like deal with like sales tax and sales stuff, I would expect like your girls always came in at like the top of the Girl Scout troop. Is that true?
Yeah, I had 1 or 2 moms that helped me out, and they were very serious about cookies and setting up at supermarkets and banks, and we sold an awful lot of cookies.
Yeah, there's like a movie about like what's that comedian's name? She's a bigger, heavier set girl.
Metzger? No,
I don't remember it, but she did a movie on like being a mom who's a Girl Scout troop leader, that like, and that cookie selling, like, I mean, she took it like to way extreme, but like, you know, where she was like kicking people's butts, that like we're trying to like, you know, come in on her like grocery store territory, and like,
I'm thinking of Bad Moms, but that was Mila Kunis, who's not heavy set at all.
I was thinking,
yeah, no, it wasn't Bad Moms. She yes. Anyway, I'll maybe I'll.
Anybody remember?
Look it up later and chat.
She's
Put it in
somewhere
the
the
chat.
mom helps out a lot, and the mom is working in a big office, so she takes the order form to the big office, right? And everybody signs up on the big order form, and then there's the problem though of the delivery.
Yes.
You know, oh boy, we sold 500 boxes of cookies at the office. They all signed up.
For process mastery, right, Bella?
Absolutely. So, Viv, who else do we got today?
We have Joe Alvarado in the house.
Woo!
Yeah. He is VP at VeriSystem, a global tech solution provider and staffing company. They provide cutting-edge tech for Fortune 500 companies and are proud to be a minority business enterprise, or MBE, and women-owned businesses, Bella. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you.
There you go.
Now, Joe, how did you end up on the Real Raw?
I don't know. I answered someone and said, yes, I'll be there.
So what's so fun about like Joe being here, so Sean talks about all the time, like ecosystem mergers, and like, you know, because how many of us are like, you know, oh, let's get together for dinner. Oh, let's get together for coffee, you know, talk about how we can do business together. But then that's like a one-on-one conversation. And so he was doing a training the other night, and how he like leads business owners is not like having one-on-one coffees, but how do you get together for a larger like speaking engagement? And so Joe and I were supposed to have dinner last night, and I said, guess what, Joe, we're not having dinner together anymore. I'm going to invite you to this event because I listen to my coaching that Sean Callaghan gives me. I'm going to invite you to this event. Not only will we get to connect, but you'll get to connect with like 6 or 7 other awesome people. And so here you are, like a product of actually the formula that Sean teaches to create more time, money, and magic. So Joe, thank you so much for being here. And what is a fun fact about you?
Well, interestingly enough, with Mark and Michael, I just want to say this is not my fun fact. I'll get to my fun fact in a second, though. I was the first Scoutmaster for a girls troop in Boy Scouts.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
So I did that, stood it up, got it started, and then hired another Scoutmaster.
What an incredible group of like male leaders we have.
I know.
Like, right, Denise?
I look at the impact they are having in these young women's life, right? That is when you think about being a woman, right? It's the relationship that we have with our dads. So leaders all around us. Let's hear some more from you, Joe. What is the fun fact?
Oh, the fun fact. I actually, before I became a jock and a Marine and all that stuff, I actually played instruments.
After you were a Girl Scout leader, then you became a jock. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. So I played instruments, violin, alto sax, and cornet. And I actually am on a vinyl record for a church record playing the cornet.
Oh, the things I did not know about you, Joe Alvarado.
She said a fun fact nobody knew. There you go.
There you go. That is amazing.
Now I'm like, I want you to play for us right now. Do you have your instrument anywhere nearby?
No, I don't. Sports story? No, I don't.
All right. Okay.
All right, who else we got, Viv?
And from San Francisco, we have Polly Seabury in the house.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Polly is CEO at SVP Financial and Investment Solutions in San Francisco, and as a foster parent of 2 adopted children, in today's economy, she knows the challenges of financial uncertainty, which is why she's passionate to help protect families against debt and secure financial independence. So welcome, Polly.
Thank you.
Welcome, Polly. That is extraordinary. Thank you so much for being here. And so what's a fun fact?
A fun fact for myself is I train and I develop, brokers. And one of the fun facts about that, I ended up training my son right out of high school. He was 15. 18, he signed a contract. 21, started making 50,000. 23, 6-figure. 24, 150,000. As of today, 2021, he'll be making 250,000. I'm really excited about that. The reason why is because I broke the chain of command of a job. So no jobs in our family. All entrepreneurs, baby.
Hands up in the air. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That is
goodness.
extraordinary.
I love the feeling of all of this empowered female situation. And I love the fact that, Joe, you work for an all-women's owned company to boot. This is so progressive.
So progressive.
We have a role player in the house.
Yeah.
It is Denise Klein. Welcome, Denise.
Thank you, Vivian. I'm so excited to be here.
I don't know where you're in from, but I'm going to guess Nevada.
Las Vegas, all the way.
Yeah. With nearly 40 years in the real estate industry, Denise is not only a real estate options dealer, but a dream maker who works from home at the Klein team in Nevada and EXP Realty, and is most proud to be a top 0.5% agent in Las Vegas, which she feels is proof that anyone can be a game changer. We're all game changers. Welcome, game changer, Denise.
Thank you so much. I am so excited. Bella, the sales sorceress, she asked me today if I could be a role player. I'm like, absolutely. Any opportunity to connect with Unblinded and introduce this first opportunity, see what is exciting in this world, I'm all for. Just a few months ago, I was sitting in your chairs, so I know kind of this uncertainty you have going on. You're like, what? Bella asked, I said yes. But what I figured out is risk is always good, right? So let's see what's happening today. Thanks, Bella, for inviting me. So excited to be here.
I am so excited that you are here. So Denise and I have been friends for about 20 years. And when we figured out about, I don't know, maybe an hour ago that Sean was going to be on a flight during this Real Raw. Now he like never misses this. Like he's always here. And when he knew he wasn't going to be here, you know, who are we gonna have on the show? And there was no one else that like the top of the mind was Denise Klein, because she brings so much energy. But when she mentioned she was sitting in your seat just a few months ago, and you know, she came into Unblinded, and what she has, the example of leadership that she has been in, taking everything that Sean says and implementing it in business. And so like, as a result of like joining the Unblinded movement, what has become your goal, Denise?
So at the end of the day, I work in an industry that 90% of salespeople will fail. So what I recognized with the formula and eco merging is that I really had the opportunity to shatter that paradigm, that there really was an opportunity through eco merging, this formula, these real raws, and some other things that we're going to introduce to you in this hour, that we really could lock arms and shift that paradigm. And what is actually possible is that 90% of salespeople can be successful. And it really comes from this place of abundance. And what I was so excited about with Unblinded is, as a leader, I'm not looking to shatter ceilings. I'm looking to build skyscrapers. And I have had so much success in my life. However, so much more is possible. And last night I was on a call and I was listening to Sean, and we were talking about the whys. Why do we do what we do? And for me, it is to educate, entertain, empower the world. And I thought, oh my gosh, how amazing that is. I finally landed on it. And then all these other incredible leaders bring to the table their why. And then mic drop, Sean Callaghy shares his why. And that's why I'm involved in Unblinded, because I am every hour, every day, every time inspired to be more of what God has called me to be in this world. And that I actually am audacious enough to believe that by partnering with Unblinded, but these dreams, they're just a drop in the bucket of what's really
But
possible.
what's the expectation of you? That's what do you remember? Because it's interesting that like you made a commitment, but like you haven't said that. And all of these words that you just said, all these nice things about Sean, all of these nice things about Unblinded, but like the question was, what did you commit to?
81 phone calls today. Is that what you're talking about?
No, the 3x of your business.
Oh my good. Well, yeah, of course, that's just of course. So I was on a call with Sean recently, and in the first 30 minutes, he said to me, look, if in 6 months you have to triple your business, I want you to give me the plan. How incredible is it to be in the presence of people that would dare to make that statement to you? And let me tell you what, pen to paper, it's been happening. And then 4 to 5 days later, coming back and taking a look at it. But look at what's incredible about this. This is the accountability piece where there's people in Unblinded at very high levels like Bella, the cell sorceress, that care enough that are actually cluing in, checking in with the commitments that you make and holding you accountable to those things. You know, every day as business owners, we have incredible business owners on here with us. We are making a difference. We are the recovery of a nation. And so, Bella, I want to thank you. And that's why I spend the time I do in this is to lock arms with people like you that hear what I say and hold me accountable. 3 months, people, 6 months, it's happening.
Nice. Awesome. And so, Denise, really quickly, so like what is a fun fact about like Denise Klein? And I want to hear a fun fact that like you actually wouldn't want to tell. Like give us a good juicy fun fact.
Okay. So I'm single and I have not been single for 30 years. For 30 years, I was actually really well taken care of. And like my husband would walk around the house and lock up the house every night for me. And I never had to worry about that. Well, when I became single, I realized that I'm not so safety minded. So So I go out, I buy an alarm system and I program it to lock up my house for me. It locks it up at 8 p.m. and it locks it up at 10 p.m. So I've taken my shower, I'm in my pajamas, and I go out into my garage. And I get locked out of my own house, wet hair, but that's not even that. I can't get back in. The key is in the house because I haven't hid it appropriately. So I am out on my street waving down the security guards to get me back in my house. And oh my gosh, yeah, security is that place I'm still working in. That's
I love it. I love it. Awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm having like the whole visual of you in a towel, maybe. Grabbing it, but a thing in the hair.
That is
amazing. I love it.
Those slippers too. Right?
Back to you, Ben.
Shoes on. That is an excellent. No shoes. Bella said a few words, so I'm going to back down because my few words are tough.
Yeah.
Well,
awesome. Back to you, Vivian.
You are also blessed to have the most enthusiastic role player today. And we have Bella Verita in the house conducting the Real Raw today. Let me tell you a little bit about Bella. At 8 years old, Bella Verita started selling crafts on her front lawn and grew these sales skills into a booming 7-figure marketing business and helped thousands build 6-figure businesses. She then went on to build the #1 business brokerage in the state of Nevada. Today, she's known for her sales sorcery as CEO at Align Sales, a female-only sales recruiting agency. Here, she doubles her sales revenue, increases sales conversions, and places sales unicorns in companies to help them scale and grow their money, time, and magic. So welcome, Bella.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bella in the house.
And it really is an honor and a privilege to be here with you all today. And it's really an honor and a privilege to, step in this space that Sean typically leads, because, he is an incredible leader. And, I just hope that I can, deliver half the value that he does. And so, Vivian, thank you for having me. And I think we should introduce Sean to everyone. And I would say, my fun fact. So you're going to hear about Sean in just a minute, but Sean is blind, and I learned how to ski from this person. I learned how to surf from this person, all in one day. All of what I learned to surf in one day, and I learned to ski in one day from a blind person. Now, if you trust a blind person to lead you down a mountain, that's seriously a lot of trust. So I feel like he's trusted me a lot with leading this real raw today. So Vivian, let's tell people who Sean actually is and what we're all doing here.
Sean is one of the most amazing humans on the planet. That's why we're all here.
That is why we're all here.
He's one of America's top trial attorneys to achieve 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, and the only one that is blind. And he's one of the top influencers in the world who appears on national TV. He created this experiential platform that we're all here today, gathered in. It's called The Real Raw, because we're going to keep it real and raw. And we're going to see how that formula that he's been curating for the past 23 years is the ultimate expression of how influence is a superpower. Contestants, you have your role player with Denise today. Your aim is to authentically connect with her and aim your goals and get a yes with purposefulness with her in an organic way. Is that way you could form ecosystems. And just like that, you create more money in less time with more magic. And that's what we're here to do.
Thank you so much, Vivian. And, as Sean is coming back from Buck Island, and, you talk about ecosystem merging, and he was there talking about ecosystem merging with companies you guys may have heard, what's that guy's name, Vivian? Do you remember the big guy?
Richard Branson, you mean?
No, not Richard Branson. That big guy, I think he's in the personal development space.
You mean Rob Gill?
Yeah, no, not him either.
No?
Come on, Viv.
You mean Tony Robbins?
Tony Robbins! So yes, doing ecosystem merging with people from Tony Robbins, with Tim Ballard from Operation Underground Railroad, if you're familiar with that. And so he walks and talks this formula that we're here to demonstrate today. And what I love is we talk about Tony Robbins is I was in a room when Tony Robbins said, there is no one that leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghan. And so although you won't be able to experience him today, is you will have an invitation at the end of this call to join us back for a Monday night, what is Unblinded, what is Real Raw, how to become unblinded. And that's where you'll get to definitely experience him. So after this, you definitely want to come back, because I have never met anyone who has taken a business from zero to $450,000 in monthly sales during COVID with no events, no funnels, and no paid ads. I have never seen anyone do what Sean does when it comes to businesses. When he built in his law firm, he was, like he said in the video, he was $100,000 in debt. And within 90 days, he was doing $200,000. Built until that 40-person law firm, and then built another one, a 120-person law firm in just 2 years. Went from startup to 120-person law firm in 2 years. So he knows how to build and scale businesses through integrity-based human influence, and that's why we're all here. Yes, Vivian?
Yes.
Yes. So thank you so much for these wonderful introductions. And I don't know if Sean wasn't here and then you weren't here, I would have really been lost. So thank you so much for your contribution today and for being here with us. And are we ready to kick this show off?
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's do it, Bella.
Thank you, Vivian. All right. So are we ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. Because I know that like Sean is probably going to watch this show. So like that actually brings like a little like extra heat to, Ross and Michael here to like really bring, your A game and what it looks like to go from hello to yes. So the purpose of today is in a 6-minute conversation to go from hello to yes. Now, this isn't like Wall Street meets like Wolf on Wall Street meets Boiler Room, but how to go from hello to yes with integrity. Because the formula that Sean teaches is an integrity-based human influence. There's nobody that can disrupt a room of like ego and significance to drive purpose and outcomes like Sean Callaghan. He is the most humble human being that I've ever met in my entire life. And this formula that he teaches, he actually used to raise $10 million in 9 minutes for Operation Underground Railroad. Pretty incredible. And also like use the same formula to raise oh no, I got my facts confused actually. $1.7 million for sex trafficking, and then sold $10 million in programs on Tony Robbins' stage in 9 minutes or less. And it's about building that emotional rapport, like we've been doing for the last half hour, right? Like truly connecting. So that emotional rapport. So your first 3 minutes of the conversation are, how well did you open listening? How much does Denise actually want to talk to you? Or like, how quickly is she ready to hang up the phone? It's about building that emotional rapport. And then about halfway through the conversation, she's like gonna interrupt. She's got a phone call to take. And then we'll turn to the judges. And the judges, you'll give your feedback. You'll give a score on a scale of 1 to 10. And then we'll continue to the second half. And the object is to like just get a yes. And that yes could be for a longer meeting. This doesn't mean like a sale in, 6 minutes, but just an opportunity for a longer meeting. How do you convey your unique identity and ask for that yes? So Denise, are you ready?
I am so ready, Bella. Are you ready?
I am ready. So under the table, I am holding a number of 1 or 2. What number do you think I'm holding?
Number 1 for sure. I mean, that's all
I knew
you know.
You would say that, so I held number 2. Oh, my friend. I know, my friend. So Ross, you get to choose. Are you going to go first, or are you going to throw Michael under the proverbial bus and make Michael go first?
I'll go first. Why not?
What?
That's what I like, Ross. There you go. Take it.
What
Go.
a leader.
Woo.
Gladiator.
So you get to tell Denise who you want her to be. So this can be any yes that you're seeking in the world. Denise can be anyone that you want her to be, a potential client, someone that you're, looking to do business with, create an ecosystem merger. She can be anyone that you want her to be. Who would you like Denise Klein to be?
Guess we might as well go with the potential client.
Okay.
All right, Ross. Let's do it.
And so do you want to tell anything that she's like, what she's seeking, what she's coming in for?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's, looking for general representation. And I feel like I'm already pitching. Pitching.
Awesome. All right, then take us in.
All right. So, essentially, Denise, what I do is I'm an attorney who helps clients navigate their issues, however they arise. I have a huge background in disputes. Just to let you know, while I regularly handle commercial litigation in the courtroom and help clients navigate litigation, I'm also an independent mediator, and I'm the youngest AAA American Arbitration Association arbitrator on the commercial panel in the country. And I'm the incoming chair of the New York State Bar Association's dispute resolution section, a group of 2,500 lawyers geared towards studying and promoting, let's say, creative ways to resolve disputes.
So, question, Ross. So I was here looking to hire an attorney. I think that it's going to turn into litigation. So I want to be prepared that I'm hiring the best attorney that'll win in the courtroom.
Sure. Well, I have certainly won in the courtroom, but I also like to listen to my client. One of my phrases is that business drives legal. So you might think at the very earliest stage that you want someone who's going to win in the courtroom, but I'd like to check in with you at any given time and make sure that I'm giving you what makes sense for your business. So there might be times where you want to have that discussion about negotiating your way out to a settlement or proposing mediation or taking it outside of the courtroom and going to arbitration. I'm comfortable in all of those realms. And as we're navigating your dispute, we're going to look for the off-ramp on that dispute highway that makes the best sense for you, for your business. And that's what I'm here. I'm here to guide you. Now, I also don't want you to just think of me as your dispute lawyer. I'm here that if you have an issue with a contract, with a transaction, or anything like that, I generally provide outside general counsel work for clients, because who better than a litigator who watches everything fall apart from the earliest stage to help you navigate how this transaction should be structured.
So Ross, a question for you. Did I just hear you say that I could hire you on retainer, that you could work with my business on a monthly basis? Kind of help me understand that.
We're willing to come up with whatever structure makes sense for both of us. I have to make sure that it makes sense, that my time's valued appropriately. I don't want to make sure that it's an arrangement that you're going to be happy with.
Okay. You know what, Ross, I really am interested in carrying on this conversation. I do have another call that I need to take real quick. Can we get back together in 3 or 4 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Great. And really, you know, Ross, what I really truly feel from you is your heart and passion for what it is that you do. It absolutely, like, energetically, Sean talks about energetic transference. Like, your energetic transference is incredible. Denise, in 1 or 2 words, how was that for you?
Not enough about me, not enough all about you. And so I felt like I needed to jump in to bring me to the table.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, Michael, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So who would you like Denise to be?
Denise, you have finally decided to start your dream business. And you're looking for a lawyer to help you do that.
He knows I'm the dream maker, so he's like playing on that dream thing. So I like where you're going with this.
This is going to be incredible. All right, Michael, take us in.
Well, Denise, nice to meet you. My name is Michael Liss.
It's nice to meet you, Michael. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
Well, we're here to, I guess, trying to help. I guess I should ask, what is it you're asking me to help with?
Oh, that's so awesome. So I am in a huge expansion in my company. Frankly, over the next 6 months, I'm going to triple the amount of business that we're doing. So I'm going to have significant expansion in my staff and our salespeople. So I have employees, I have 1099. Then obviously, you know, moving into an environment, we're going to need to expand leases, get more office space, and we're taking it all over the United States and even internationally. So I'm looking for an attorney that wants to build a dream with me.
Well, that's really great. How long have you been doing this?
Oh, that's not fair, because if I tell you, you're going to see my age.
Okay.
38 years. I've been doing this. I know it doesn't look like that, right? But 38 years, Michael.
There you go. Started when you were a very young.
I'm going to pay you extra for this meeting, just for that comment, for sure, as a baby.
You know, there's a lot of things that come up with expanding this kind of a business.
Yeah.
What you mentioned a few things: employees and sales and the size of the growth in that. Tell me more about what really percolates up and kind of like either excites you or maybe scares you a little bit. What is it about this dream that you really keeps coming back around on you?
I love that, Michael. Thank you for asking that. Intellectual property is the biggest piece of it. And so I have a system in place that will assist agents in any type of sales environment to build 6-income figure businesses. However, they're independent contractors. So I'm giving all the intellectual property up front, and I'm concerned that they will get that and then they'll leave. And so looking at how do I scale that in a business, and then always risk reduction, right? Working with independent contractors, we share reputation. So that's a concern for me.
Well, this is really interesting of the overlap. I sometimes meet people and say that what I do is I create entrepreneurs. Your case is going to be you want to expand and even be a bigger entrepreneur.
Oh, you got the dream. That's exactly it, Michael.
The kind of law work that I do is kind of specific. I help people with contracts and sales and trademarks, and we do franchise work to expand coast to coast. And real
Michael,
estate.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. I am so interested in what you have to say. However, I got to take a quick call. Are you available in 3 or 4 minutes again?
I'm sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. I'll be right back to you.
Great job,
Yeah!
Michael. Great job. That was absolutely phenomenal. You know what, like, because we have a lot of attorneys that come on to the show, obviously, because, you know, that's Sean's leadership. He's been a top, you know, trial attorney. He's created like 2 of the top 100 national jury verdicts. We get a lot of attorneys on the show. And like, but I feel like our attorneys today are like super heart-centered, and like I could feel your care. And so thank you so much. Denise, 1 or 2 words. How was that for you?
I absolutely felt seen. I absolutely felt heard. You encouraged vulnerability and trust in those great questions.
Awesome. All right, judges, are you ready? This is where your feedback matters. So you're going to have 30 seconds for feedback. So like 15 seconds, something that they did great, 10, 15 seconds on something that they can improve on, and then a score on 1 to 10. Like 1 being they probably like should have been at the dentist having a root canal instead of being on the show, or like 10, like they blew it out of the water, and they too could be a top 100 national jury verdict and influence an entire verdict that they were offering like a couple $1,000s to begin at the jury, and then he ended up winning like, I think it was like something like $37 million. So, you know, that like being like dentist's office, or like I could influence a trial for $37 million being a 10. So Polly, let's start with you.
Okay, great. Russ, actually, I think you did a good job. You know, you actually was letting them know all about your law firm, but I think you puked all over her because you didn't actually get to know exactly her wants and needs. So out of 1 to 10, I'll say 5.5.
5.5. She took off some points for puking. Not do that again. That first one.
There was this vivid imagery with that.
Yes. You won't ever do that again. All right. And how about for Michael?
Michael, you did a wonderful job because you took the time out to get the answer all the important questions, her wants and needs, because the client is always more important. And then after that, you illustrate exactly what you have to offer. You've been with this experience more than once. It's your specialty, so I would actually give you a 10. You did good.
Woo! And they're rarely given on the show.
That's a
congratulations, Michael. That is extraordinary. All right, let's head over to Mark. Your feedback for Ross.
What I really liked about Ross, I think he did a great job of selling or explaining his expertise and why he's qualified, and some of the prestigious positions that he has. So I thought that was great in qualifying himself. I agree with Polly a little bit with what she said, that he didn't quite pull out of Denise exactly what her problem was or what she was looking for. It's a little tough in this situation, but that's where I thought it could have been a little bit stronger. I would have given Ross a 7.
7. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mark. And Joe Alvarado.
Bella, are we gonna have Mark do
Oh yes, I apologize. Thank you.
No worries, we got it.
All right, Mark. Yes, feedback from Michael.
Michael, so I thought that was a little bit better flow with everything. Michael was, I'll say a little more casual in the conversation that made it flow a little bit better. He had a little bit better connection with Denise during their exchange. I thought it played out a little bit better. The only thing that I might have changed slightly, and it was hard in a 3-minute conversation for Michael, was an actual specific of something that he could have done for Denise. I can help you incorporate. I can get you registered here or something like that. But I thought the conversation was there was a connection or a chemistry there. I'd give Michael a 9 in that interview.
A 9. Very nice. Michael. Very nice. Thank you so much, Mark. All right, Mr. Joe.
Thanks. So with Ross, I really liked how he set the stage with credibility. Out of the gate, I think that's important. And most of us come to attorneys by referral, and so he had a great representation of his credibility. I like the way he explained the off-ramp scenario. Right, for me, not understanding law and talking about and breaking it down into simplicity for me to understand, I thought that was great. But the only improvement I would give him certainly is to set the stage and understand why we're here, right? With Denise in particular. So for that, I give him a 7.5.
7.5. Awesome. And for Michael.
All right, for Michael, what I liked was, he talked about setting the stage with Denise. Why are we here? Great rapport building in exchange. What are the challenges that he can? What are the challenges that she's facing, and really what's important to her, and what she wants to get out of a conversation with an attorney. So I thought that was important, particularly what she needs right now, what keeps her up at night, and he got that. The improvement I would recommend is he didn't get to, again, like Mark said, he didn't get to, some kind of integration of where he fits into that. Again, short call. I think he was getting there. I wrote down
your
he was getting
score
there.
Is?
My score is 9.
9. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. All right. Are you guys, so you got some feedback from the judges. They were pretty nice about their feedback. Are you ready for round 2?
All right, round 2.
All right, so we're going to mix things up a little bit. And this time we will start with Michael. So Michael, you got 3 more minutes to get your yes from Denise. Take us in. So she's back. She's back on the phone. It's been a couple of minutes, and here we go.
Hey, Michael, I'm back. Thanks for letting me step away.
You're welcome. Well, where do we go from here?
In your court, I've kind of told you what I'm doing. What do you think?
Well, it sounds like we've got to look at some of these contracts that you might have already to expand. We've got to figure out a plan, heavily about planning on how to get from where we are to where we want to. And we write those up into those sales contracts, those employment contracts, the independent contractor agreements. We're going to even talk about franchise agreements, because what is a franchise agreement? Well, you let them use your IP, you said. You show them how to do it. And maybe you can even get them to pay you a little bit to join a membership. It'd be pretty interesting to talk about. I
love how you're thinking of revenue. Keep going with that. That's awesome. Keep
Right.
thinking about the revenue side. I'm liking an attorney that understands revenue.
Right. We would, if we're going to go forward, we do a written engagement agreements. We just send those back and forth by email. The first step to me, though, would sound like a planning meeting, where we actually have plenty of time to work out what we're going to do next. How does that sound to you?
I'm interested. I like the things that you're talking about. I love that you're understanding and you're hearing and you've repeated back to me some of the things that are most important to me. So I would be interested in having a planning meeting. How long would that be? What would that look like? And what would that cost?
Oh, well, we charge $3.85 an hour, and a meeting like that might be an hour. All right. Okay. And we don't get paid up front, so we just kind of, spend our time together and work on it. But I could get my calendar out, and here I can see at the moment we could do something like maybe next week on Tuesday or Wednesday in the afternoon. Would that work for you?
I would, Michael. So just to be clear, next Tuesday at 3:00.
Yes, that would be great.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm excited. Way to go, Michael.
Awesome, Michael.
Thank you.
I love your energy. Like Sean talks about, like in the formula, he talks about energy variances, and there's 4 energies. There is fun energy. It was like fun energy opens listening. There is aspirational, inspirational energy. So like how well do you inspire people? And then goddess energy is like the heart energy of like, how do you like love, like really empathize with people. And then Zeus energy, that is like your certainty, bringing like your certainty in. And Sean, you know, in the formula created these 4 energies, and you are such a great example of those 4 energies and how to bring those out into a conversation. So amazing job, Michael. Ross, are you ready?
Bella, can I interject something there real quick too that I really appreciated about Michael? You know, in the new 2020 world, in being able to use technology to connect with people, I want to tell you that you did a fantastic job connecting with me. So that's an important thing in this process and why I wanted to set that next appointment with you. So congratulations on that. That's not a skill set that everyone is as comfortable with as I felt you were.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, Ross, are you ready? Denise is back. She's come back into the room. She's like ready to go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Hi,
All
Ross.
right, Denise, take it in.
Hi, Ross. Thanks so much for letting me step away for a moment. Where were we?
So Denise, you've heard a lot about me. Tell me about yourself.
Awesome. So I'm a native Las Vegan. I was born and raised here in Las Vegas, and I've been in the real estate industry for 38 years. And so I have a great deal of experience. I ran a national title company from an operations and a sales perspective. And, you know, in 2000, I wanted to open my own business. I wanted the opportunity to have some more time, more money. I was a little confused of what that looked like. I sure have an awakening of what entrepreneurship is. And so over the last 18 years, I've developed an intellectual property that will be able to take sales executives and be able to shift a paradigm that 90% of them will fail normally. And under my system and the unblinded system, we will be able to get them to 90% success. And so we're going to triple our business over the next 6 months. And I need an attorney. I don't even know for all the reasons I need an attorney right now.
That's so exciting. So you went from real estate to title to now coming up with this incredible IP that's going to triple the business and unbelievable. So what are some of the issues that you're facing right now?
Yeah, so in the growth and the expansion, as we're working through the strategic plan and through the SWOT analysis, we recognize risk, right? So we have risk from the IP in being able to give that upfront to salespeople and making sure that our revenues are rewarded in the back end. I'm concerned about new leases that we'll need to take. Should I purchase property versus leasing? Employees costs, working in the new dynamic taxes. I'm concerned also about independent contractors and compliance pieces, and then just the overall risk that you have in a company. What I don't want is my profits leaking out of the company.
Right. We definitely, like I told you, we have a saying that business runs legal. These are a lot of very important issues with the leasing, and I'm hearing some of the things that you're saying that you're probably going to need some NDAs with the salespeople that you're speaking with. If you know, NDA is a non-disclosure agreement, and we do those all the time. And these are very important things that you should be thinking about. And I'm happy to consult with you on them.
I love you were talking about off ramps. So that really makes me want to hear more about what your plans are on that.
Sure. So I know that you mentioned that you have also, I guess, amongst all of these other issues, some litigation that you're concerned about. Did you want to talk about that litigation as well?
That litigation is just what I think could happen in the future in non-competes, non-disclosures, those type of things.
Sure. So the off-ramp means that we could...
So Russ, you're out of time. You want to take this home?
Sure, let's do it.
I give you 5 seconds.
All right. So Denise, I'd love to set up a time to discuss, retention and how I can help satisfy all of these different issues that you have, and make sure that we're looking at those off-ramps and making sure that your business drives the legal and that you don't end up leaking out all of that revenue that you look forward to gaining. How does that sound?
Awesome. Based on your knowledge, skills, and ability, I think it's a great fit. When do you want to get together?
Awesome
nice job.
Awesome job.
Yeah,
all right.
yes.
So before we go over to the judges, this is the time in the show where Sean typically delivers like his magic trick. He has taken how like the formula plays off into someone's business. So Ross, now Sean has the memory of like an elephant. So if Sean were here, he would remember everything about everyone in your introductions and be able to, I kid you not, be able to actually probably 4 words say exactly what Vivian said and remember everything about you. I am not Sean Callaghan, and I don't remember those things. So Ross, if you'll just give me a couple of like your key points about you that like make you the extraordinary attorney that you are for your clients, and then we're going to do a reverse role play. So give me a couple of things.
Sure. So I have immense litigation background in, professional liability, general commercial litigation, securities issues, real estate. And, I also, like I've even said to Denise, regularly act as outside general counsel because I like to leverage all of those dispute resolution skills that I've developed over the years to help understand what people are doing with their contracts. And, one of the things is, if you've seen things blow up, you want to see how they should be formed in the very beginning, and that's a valuable tool. And then as an independent mediator and an arbitrator, I have the full spectrum of understanding disputes, all together, I like to say. So that's really, I guess, in a vacuum, who I am as an attorney.
Okay, got it. I'm going to do my very best to play an attorney, but it's not really about like the role. It's really about, because everyone said that they wanted to take something away today, and it's really about how to implement the formula into your business so that you can have more time, money, and magic. So Ross, we're going to do a little bit of role play. I'm going to be you, and you're going to be Denise Klein.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Am I qualified to be Denise Klein? I don't know.
It's a hard role to play.
I think you have red hair. Is that or is it the light? I'm thinking it shows, so that's all you need. That's it.
That is awesome.
For today, I will have red hair.
Okay.
There you go. So Denise, thank you so much for coming in. What brings you in today?
Well, I'm looking for legal representation.
Okay. And what has you like looking for legal representation? Is there something going on in your business, or is this more on the proactive side?
Well, I'm in the process of developing this very exciting IP program where I'm going to be connecting a sales force in a very, very difficult industry, and it's going to be very, very exciting and very, very lucrative. And I want to make sure that that money does not leak out as I'm developing this awesome company.
That's amazing. I can hear your passion about what it is that you do, which is extraordinary. And like, I want to acknowledge you also that like you're proactive, like knowing that you need legal help at the beginning is a smart business move, because not all business owners do that. They don't end up in an attorney's office until after the fact, which ends up costing them way more money. So this already shows that you're an extraordinary businesswoman. And you mentioned like some IP that you have developed. Like, tell me about this IP that you've developed.
Sure. It's an app that salespeople can download onto their phone. And if there's these awesome opportunities that come up, they'll get flagged on their app, and we'll be able to connect people. And for a small fee, to them, we'll connect those people and get them lined up in this awesome sales opportunity.
That is extraordinary. What a brilliant idea. Congratulations on that. And so what are like your biggest fears around like developing this app? And when you think about like having an attorney while you're in my office today, like what are some of your biggest fears that could happen that, you could end up needing an attorney for?
Well, I mean, I have a couple of different fears. One of them is I can get my salespeople involved with this app, and they start going in and looking at all of this stuff that I've been working on for the last few years. I've been in the industry for 38 years. And by the way, it means I started when I was 2. So I'm just very, very nervous that these salespeople are going to steal my ideas. And I'm also concerned that I'm going to hire the wrong lawyer that ends up, billing me for all of these unnecessary things. And all of the money I was looking forward to is going to leak right out of the venture. I'm very, very concerned. I'm losing sleep. I got locked out of the house the other day. It was, it's terrible.
I'm sorry to hear that you got locked out of the house over this distress, and we definitely want to keep that from happening, because I understand like how important your IP is to you, and like how important this dream is to you. And I hear like the fear around, you know, the maybe the people stealing, you know, your information. And I can imagine like how scary that is. And, you know, it's a great thing that you're sitting in my office today, because these are actually things that we help with. Is it okay that I share a little bit about myself with you?
Please, please. Thank you.
Definitely. So, you know, just, you know, you talk about this app that you are building in, you know, the real estate profession. And I actually have an extensive background in litigation, in commercial and real estate. So when you talk about like this app that you're building, I absolutely understand what it is that you're doing, and I understand the importance of, you don't want your salespeople and like people stealing your information. And you know, not only have I been, you know, dealing with like kind of the real estate market and legal counsel in this area for over 30 years, but we've also worked with like outside counsel that helps us like understand contracts, and been on the other side of the table as well. So not only do I understand things from an attorney's point of view, but Denise, I actually understand where you're at as well, because I've been on that side of the table as well. And you know, I hear that, you know, you're scared of like the litigation part, but you know what? My job as your attorney is to keep you out of litigation, to help you write your contracts for this business, so that such that you don't end up in litigation, that you are protected, your dream is protected, this app is protected. And then in the event, because I heard you say that, you know, you also don't want to end up racking up in a bunch of attorney fees. And so, you know, our whole goal is to keep you out of court, because obviously that saves you in a lot of legal fees. But in the event that we end up in court, I will tell you that I'm one of the best trial attorneys in the country when it comes to business and commercial real estate in this area. And I guarantee you that if we end up in court, that there's nobody that's going to be better at representing you than myself. Is that the kind of attorney that you're looking for?
I think that's the type of attorney everyone's looking for, Ross.
Awesome. So then, would it be beneficial for us to have a longer conversation to see what it would look like for me to represent you?
Absolutely, and discuss some of these issues and retention and everything. That would be great. Thank you.
Awesome. How was that for you, Ross? How was that in Bella playing an attorney? How was it?
I think you were great. I think you you know, listen, I don't want to explain away my fault. Somebody says you have 3 minutes to sell somebody. I'm trying to tell you who I am, but I think you did an excellent job in listening to me and taking notes on some important issues. And I'm laughing about it because as a mediator, it's more important to hear people than to speak. And it sounds like everybody in this room is doing an excellent job at hearing those things and reflecting back those important interests in order to get to where you want to be, which is getting to yes.
Getting to yes. And so with these micro distinctions today, we're going to turn it over to the judges here in just a minute, but with the micro distinctions that you just heard, like if you were going to place a number on like that micro distinction, how much that's going to increase your own personal business, what would you say?
I have to use a multiplier or a percentage. What's the? I think in a conversation like that, I think you're probably twice as effective as the way that I structured my. And I think it is structure. I think what you're doing is really structuring the conversation a lot differently. And when you feel it, when somebody is selling you, you don't feel very comfortable. But when you have the other person selling themselves and selling their business, they get much more comfortable in the room. And that, I don't want to say it like this is not a bad thing, but that lowers the shield, and that gives you an opportunity to talk about who you are and develop that relationship. I think that's great. I think that's
absolutely awesome. And you hit the nail on the head, Ross, is, you know, there is nobody that leads a conversation with more heart than Sean does. And the getting to the yes, and he is I would say a 10 times better listener than I am. And, you know, and being able to, you know, and if I can do half the job that he can do and demonstrate that, I just imagine, you know, what is possible for everybody else here. So thank you, Ross. So let's turn it over to the judges. Mark, let's start with you.
Well, I guess, Bella, first, you're an amazing salesperson. So I think you did a great job in describing how the legal services should be sold. And I think we all can learn a lot from the way you presented it. I think Ross did better in the second go around as far as connecting with Denise. I think Ross actually did even better when he was discussing with Bella what she did so well. That was less salesy, exactly as you said, more natural. The take I got from all this, and I deal with a lot of attorneys, is I get the impression that Ross is extraordinarily qualified at what he does. And with someone referring me to Ross, I think that would be a great way to come in, because I think his true expertise really comes through with that. But I think Michael's style is a little bit more relaxed.
So what's your score for Ross?
I'll give him an 8.5.
8.5. All right, let's go over to Michael. You were starting in with Michael, so go ahead.
Okay, so Michael's style is a little bit more relaxed. So I think with making that connection to the client to draw them in, I think it's a little bit easier for someone just walking in off the street without a referral to Michael to sit down and be a little bit more comfortable with him. Because people on the street don't really know how much a lawyer needs to know. It's a comfort level, which a lay person, not needing to know someone's expertise. That's why I think, Bella, you did such a great job, because it was the most comfortable presentation with that. The only thing that I might have tweaked for Michael was, and it's a big question, whether you charge for a consultation $385 or not, or you say you come in, sit with me, and then we'll figure out putting together a proposal for you to build your contracts, to do your planning, and that could be a 20, 30, 40-hour project to do all that work. And you don't want to sometimes scare somebody away for $385. That's maybe the only criticism.
And Mark, you bring up a fantastic point. I want to give Michael a score, but Michael, if Sean was sitting here, he would agree with Mark. So Sean built his law firm on free consultations, and every attorney that I have heard him coach, and there is no one that I know that turns more like business owners, like even like law firm owners and their employees into millionaires. So like Sean has actually given people in his law firm like $1 million bonuses. And he absolutely in his formula teaches that the consultations should be free. He definitely gives like all the consultations for free. So he would definitely give that coaching, because that's where you like establish the relationship. And with doing free consultations, you will double your business. So great feedback there. And what was your score for Michael, Mark?
9.5.
9.5. Awesome. And Joe, let's head over to you. Your feedback for, I think actually Michael went first last time. So let's start with Michael.
Well, I like Michael's style. It's very comforting. Even though he's an attorney, I sense that he has a great command of sales and how to connect with people. And I don't feel threatened at all with him whatsoever. It's very comforting conversation that he has to get to the result that he's getting towards. So for that I still give Michael a 9.
Nice, awesome. And for Ross.
Ross, definitely. What I like about Ross in the role play with you was first off very sharp and quick to learn what he had to do in that conversation with you. Came up with some great information off the cuff, and at the end here, I think he took what he learned. And he hit it right away. He said, tell me more about you. Tell me about you. How can we get to the next step? In the end here. So again, he got to the point. He finished it out nicely. So I definitely give him an 8 for that.
8. Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe and Polly.
Yes. For Michael, he went in to actually listen to what she had to say, so he showed interest and concern. Another thing with the pricing, just like Michael, just like the other candidate judge said, you don't talk about prices because, of course, people are actually looking for the best lawyer. You know, sometimes you can have competitors, but they also go with prices because they don't need everything that you offer. So stay away from prices and just schedule an appointment. And like she did mention, in this time, it's the world, it's Zooming, you know, to do a conference call with Zoom, but a more intense one to get the
And your
close.
score for Michael is?
And the score for Michael, I'll give him an 8.5.
Awesome. And for Ross?
And Ross, he did such a good job playing Denise's role because he was a great listener. So that's very important to listen, so that you can actually know exactly what they're looking for. So you can bring it to the table. So that was very awesome. I give you 8.5 also for that. You did well.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome job.
Way to go.
And Polly, how was today for you on The Real Raw?
It was very different and exciting. You know, I got to meet a lot of very important people, very nice people, I must say. And this is a good opportunity so that we can look in from out. It's really beautiful, a great experience, and it can take you to another level so you can actually pay close attention to your customers, your clients, and better your business.
Yes, thank you so much for being here, Polly. And Joe, how was today for you?
You know, this was an amazing experience. You know, just listening to other people, you know, go through the framework, and you doing your example, you know, it validates, you know, some of the things that I do as well. So I was very, you know, intrigued to learn a little bit today from everybody, meet some great people, and be a part of the program. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Thank you for saying yes. Mark, how was today for you?
I loved it. It was fascinating. It was fun. It was certainly better than a normal afternoon in the office, and I got a lot out of it.
Oh, that is awesome. I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm so glad that you got a lot out of it, because that's really why Sean put this together, is that people could come and meet incredible people, but also get something out of it. It's not like let's just come and have coffee, but let's actually have something that we can take away and go implement into our lives while meeting extraordinary people. So thank you so much for that. And Ross, how was today for you?
Today was a lot of fun, and it was great practice. If anything else, great practice, a refresher on some things that I had learned in the past, and you know, some new skills that I should be practicing moving forward. So thank you.
And you're going to get to double your business for being here.
Double my business. Yeah,
there you go. There you go. And Michael, how was today for you on The Real Raw?
Now, I remember at the beginning you said use 1 or 2 words. So it's again ditto for what Ross just said. We learned, we had fun, the chance to share.
That is amazing. You know, I want to say thank you to everyone for being here, for contributing to each other's lives. And, you know, you didn't have the opportunity to meet Sean today. And so I want to invite everyone back. Every Monday night, he does a what is Unblinded, what is Real Raw, where he actually goes through the formula. So what I introduced today, there's a formula for it. There is a formula for going from hello to yes. There is a formula for having more money, time, and magic in your business. And he goes over that every Monday. So, you know, you're probably get an email about that. And then Denise, how was The Real Raw for you today?
Oh my goodness.
Final words from you.
Yes. So first of all, I have great hope for the legal system. Attorneys like this that are heart-centered, value-driven, and care enormously about the people they serve. That is clearly in front of us. And Bella, I have to tell you, Sean was not confused when he put you in this role to lead this. You knocked it out of the park. Sell Sorceress. Come on, let's give it up for Bella.
Thank you.
I've had the opportunity to stand by Bella for 15 years and to sharing her success, to cheer her on. But I have never seen such congruency in the self-mastery, the process mastery, her influential skills. And she's always been amazing. There's no doubt the #1 business broker in Las Vegas, that is absolutely a big deal. But there is clear evidence that by being part of Unblinded, you are grounded and solid. And one of the things that I've heard y'all talk about today is the practice. And that's one of the things in the formula that has me very excited, because it came very clear to get to the next step, my practice has to get better. And so why do I practice on paying clients? When the opportunity to come in this room and for us all to see as business owners, it is about opportunities. And Sean doesn't talk about sales. He talks about value-based influence. And I just am so excited to have had the opportunity to sit in this room, to learn from each of you, to really have an experience of giver's gain and win-win. And I encourage you not only to come on Monday night, but if you haven't checked out Clubhouse yet, you've got to check out Clubhouse. So where as leaders do we get fed, right? Each and every one of us as business owners, we are leaders. And I don't know about you, but from time to time, I'm exhausted. And so every morning, and the gift that Bella gave to me and is the gift of the Clubhouse, of the huddle, where I come in, I get fed by people that are blowing away my results and people that I can give to as well. So that when I show up for my staff, when I show up in my huddle, that I am inspired and that I am growing, and I am a learning-based leader. I always have. And the learning that has happened in this formula over the last 6-8 weeks has been extraordinary. So as leaders, if you are interested in more time, money, and defining this word magic, because that was the one that kind of got me hooked. And I even said to Bella one day, I was like, Bella, what is magic? And her answer, she didn't give me an answer, which she loved not giving me an answer, by the way, but she kind of pulled out me, what was the magic? And I have to tell you, this formula offers something for each and every one of us to grow in, but then to serve with and to duplicate. One of the things she talks about all the time is modeling. So Bella, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Denise. I'm gonna get in trouble because I think I did a longer show than Sean. I'm so over time. So thank you all for being here, and definitely come back on Monday night, even if it's just like to see Sean in action, to see because he like brings people up into the hot seat, and definitely check out Clubhouse. And then Vincent dropped in. So if you want to like understand how this formula can actually be applied in your business, so as our feedback to Michael, free consultations, we also do free consultations. So you can actually set up a meeting with one of our team strategists to like talk about like your business and how the formula can be applied in your business so that you can have more money, time, and magic, and like we had here today. So thank you all for your time. And then we're going to see if Denise gets this. Denise, we all blind?
Just learning to see.
She got it first time! Woo!
There was some coaching there, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You guys have so much fun. Peace out.
Awesome. We'll see you guys back again. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
Joe.